If you think creatine is just built for building bigger muscles, scientists may have just changed that entire conversation. Creatine is one of the most studied supplements on the planet, and for decades, myself and others have associated it with strength, power, and muscle growth. But there's some new research that just came out that suggested there could be a lot more going on underneath the hood. Scientists are proposing there's something called the skeletal muscle adipose creatine axis. And the idea is that when you train, your muscles don't just use creatine to lift heavier, they also send a chemical signal to your fat tissue. And when those signals arrive, they activate a process where fat cells burn more calories as heat, basically acting like little furnaces. This is similar to how brown fat works, but through a different mechanism that is tied to your creatine metabolism. Now, an important caveat of this is that most evidence is still very early, right? And the human data is limited, as this normally is when we learn something new. But these early studies suggest that people with higher creatine transporter levels in your fat tissue tend to be leaner, and they have better overall metabolic health. So the translation is, creatine might support energy expenditure and metabolic resilience, not just muscle. Don't get it crazy, don't get it twisted. Creatine alone is not going to just melt fat off your body. But if you take creatine and you lift weights, keep doing that. These are habits that are backed by decades and decades of research showing that there's better strength, muscle growth, and long-term metabolic health by utilizing creatine. But it's not magic, and it's part of something that's much bigger system, keeping your body strong, energized, and metabolically healthy. Also, just kind of a side note here, other recent studies this year came out that showed that 10 to 20 milligrams of creatine can help reduce brain fog, fatigue, and stave off, even hours of lost sleep. So, no reason not to use creatine. If you're not using it, suggest putting it in creatine monohydrate. Is very easy to use. Can mix in anything. You can get creatine in red meats as well, but consider supplementing in the morning, at night. I take 2 scoops in the morning and 2 scoops of night, so 10 grams each. And I find creatine to be a huge help in my diet.